I think you're a good comedian. I think your lectures are boring. Let me ask you a question on the news.
Now, this is theater. I mean, it's obvious. How old are you?
35.
And you wear a bow tie.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So this is...
No, I know.
So
You're right. No, let me just go. No, come on.
And listen, I'm not suggesting that you're not a smart guy, because those are not easy to tie. But the thing is that you're doing theater when you should be doing debate, which would be great.
No, it's
not honest. I think they believe President Bush would do a better job, and I believe the Kerry guys believe President Kerry would do a better job, but what I believe is they're not making honest arguments. So what they're doing is, in their mind, the ends justify the means.
I hate the show at all. I do think you're more fun on your show, just my opinion.
But
Jon Stewart goes one-on-one with his fans.
You're as big on your show as you are on any show.
Now you're getting into it. I like.
Remember when Jon Stewart single-handedly ended Tucker Carlson's career at CNN?
It's funny, you know, and I made a special effort to come on the show today because I have privately, amongst my friends, and also in occasional newspapers and television shows, mentioned this show as being bad. Here's just what I wanted to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Stop. Stop hurting America. Okay. See, the thing is, we need your help. Right now you're helping the politicians and the corporations, and we're left out there to mow our lawns.
You just said we're too rough on them when they make mistakes.
No, you're not too rough on them. You're part of their strategies. You're partisan, what do you call it, hacks.
Wait, John, let me tell you something valuable that I think we do that I'd like to see you do.
Something valuable?
Yeah, no, it's
I
nice
would like to hear it.
And I'll tell you, when politicians come on, it's nice to get them to try and answer the question. And in order to do that, we try and ask them pointed questions. I want to contrast our questions with some questions you asked John Kerry.
If you want to compare your show to a comedy show, you're more than welcome.
All the way back in 2004, Stewart was raising the alarm about how our country's legacy news outlets worked hand in hand with the political establishment to shift public opinion to match whatever position they wanted to be the mainstream opinion, which is completely antithetical to Carlson's and Pagala's posturing as real journalists and truth seekers.
You know, I didn't realize that, and maybe this explains quite a bit,
the opportunity
is that the news organizations look to Comedy Central for their cues on integrity. So what I would suggest is, when you talk about you're holding politicians' feet to the fire, I think that's disingenuous. I think you're...
How are you holding up? I mean, come on.
No. I don't, but my role isn't, I don't think...
You can ask them a real question, don't you think? Instead of saying, you know...
I don't think I have to. By the way, I also asked him, you know, were you in Cambodia? But I didn't really care, because I don't care, because I think it's stupid. Well, but my point is this. If your idea of confronting me is that I don't ask hard-hitting enough news questions, we're in bad shape, fellas.
We're here to love you, not confront you.
No, but what I'm saying is this. I'm not. I'm here to confront you because we need help from the media, and they're hurting us. And it's the idea is...
If the indictment... Let me get this straight. If the indictment is... if the indictment is, and I have seen you say this, that Crossfire reduces everything, as I said in the intro, to left, right, black, white.
Yes.
Well, it's because, see, we're a debate show. It's like saying the Weather Channel reduces
that'd be great.
To a storefront.
I would love to see a debate show.
In a 24-hour day where we have each side on as best we can get them.
No. That would be great.
And have them fight it out.
To do a debate would be great. But that's like saying pro wrestling is a show about athletic competition.
I think you're a good comedian. I think your lectures are boring. Let me ask you a question on the news.
Now, this is theater. I mean,
Stewart is 100% spot on here. Real political debates where everyone involved is putting a good faith effort to challenge, defend, and possibly change one's views is a complete pipe dream that has never been present or valued in our country's political system. Case in point being the total erasure of leftist, socialist, and communist political parties. If the political establishment value the merits of one's ideology instead of the most efficient way to gain and stay in power, we would have a much more robust left-wing base in the country.
I'm honest. What you do is partisan hackery, and I'll tell you why I know it.
You have John Kerry on your show, and you sniff his throne, and you're accusing us of partisan hackery?
Absolutely.
You've got to be kidding, man.
You're on CNN.
Say,
the show that leads into me is puppets making crank phone calls. What is wrong with you?
Well, I'm just saying, there's no reason for you, when you have this marvelous opportunity not to be the guy's butt boy, to go ahead and be his butt boy.
Yes,
It's embarrassing.
I was absolutely his butt boy. I was so far. You would not believe what he ate 2 weeks ago. You know, the interesting thing that I have is you have a responsibility to the public discourse, and you fail miserably.
School, I think.
You need to go to one. The thing that I want to say is, when you have people on for just knee-jerk, reactionary talk.
Wait, I thought you were going to be funny. Come on, be funny.
No, I'm not going to be your monkey. This is such a great opportunity you have here to actually get politicians
really Jon
off
Stewart?
of their marketing and strategy. Yeah, it's someone who watches your show and cannot take it anymore. I just can't.
What's it like to have dinner with you? It must be excruciating. Do you like lecture people like this? Or do you come over to their house and sit and lecture them and, you know, they're not doing the right thing, that they're missing their opportunities, evading their responsibilities?
If I think they are.
Look, I wouldn't want to eat with you, man. That's horrible.
I know, and you won't.
Whatever disagreements we and you may have about Stewart's politics, it's undeniable that he's correct about the role of the media and how it's being used as a tool to manipulate the audience instead of informing and educating. Which brings us to this.
Here's why we're doing it. First, because it's our job. We're in journalism. Our duty is to inform people. 2 years into a war that's reshaping the entire world, most Americans are not informed. They have no real idea what's happening in this region, here in Russia or 600 miles away in Ukraine. But they should know. They're paying for much of it in ways they might not fully yet perceive. And yet the populations of the English-speaking countries seem mostly unaware. They think that as nothing has really changed. And they think that because no one has told them the truth. Their media outlets are corrupt. They lie to their readers and viewers. And they do that mostly by omission.
It is so incredibly rich for the likes of Tucker Carlson, one of the most watched cable news anchor and the favorite voice of white supremacists everywhere, to complain that the media is corrupt. Sir, you were the media for years and years.
Freedom of speech is our birthright. We were born with the right to say what we believe. That right cannot be taken away no matter who is in the White House. But they're trying anyway.
We're not going to show any of the 2-hour bootlicking sesh that was Carlson's quote-unquote interview with Vladimir Putin. So we will now turn to how Jon Stewart responded to one of his oldest nemesis. Stewart contextualized Carlson's infatuation with Putin and life in Russia by saying, quote, "The goal that Carlson and his ilk are pushing is that there's really no difference between our systems. In fact, theirs might be a little better. The question is why? Why is Tucker doing this? Here's why. It's because the old civilizational battle was communism versus capitalism. That's what drove the world since World War II. Russia was the enemy then, but now they think the battle is woke versus unwoke. And in that fight, Putin is an ally to the right. He's their friend. Unfortunately, he is also a brutal and ruthless dictator. So now they have to make Americans a little more comfortable with that. I mean, liberty is nice, but have you seen Russia's shopping carts? Stewart is spot on once again. Tucker interviewing Putin had nothing to do with informing Americans about the war, but was rather a not-so-sly way to humanize Putin and position him as an ally to the American right wing that holds the same social values. Tucker Carlson could not care less about the truth and doing real journalism. He has, and always will be, in it for the money, attention, and the theater of it all, just like Jon Stewart said almost 20 years ago.